Hey everybody, meteorologist Brad Pedovich here for SkiSoutheast.com, and as promised, the pattern has finally changed. I've been watching some of the resort cams, and you could see that the slopes are getting narrower, the spring conditions are kind of lingering, but there's still snow on the slopes. Tonight, that is starting to change, and I can show you right now up at Beach Mountain, the first resort I've seen tonight, at least, as I'm recording this. This is the view at the top. We're making snow right now. Look how fluffy that looks. I mean, look at it. Don't you want to just, oh, I want to shred that right now. Look at that. That looks great. And that's pretty good snow. Now, the base, they're working the snow making from the top down. It's only cold enough at the top. And this will slowly continue across the southeast through tonight and into tomorrow. So I'm going to start with the forecast first here again. Again, I do expect snow making tonight. Probably most of tomorrow night and most of Saturday night. Saturday night, Sunday into Monday, even though there's some natural snow in the forecast, I know this is always a weird one. This could be some wet snow mixed with rain. Not great snowmaking conditions, but Mother Nature might be helping us out. And up in West Virginia, Maryland, I'm going to show you here in a minute, there's actually potential for some natural snow. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few snowflakes here in North Carolina, but I really think it's more going to be Saturday into Sunday. I actually probably should have put it on Saturday as well. And I'll show you why here in a minute. So we've got one little trough over us this weekend. I'm going to go into the weekend, and you can see this little dip in the jet stream. So this is our little dip right now. Good conditions for this upcoming weekend. Now we go into Sunday. Another fast-moving little system comes in here right there. You can see it just enough. It's not huge. I mean, these aren't going to be like all-timers, but it's a sign of some natural snow. But it is a little warm in the setup. There's a pretty warm flow here, so that's why it's kind of a rain-snow mix. What I want you to show you, and I hinted at this earlier this week, is what's going to happen at the end of next weekend. So we go through the week, kind of zonal flow, nothing too hot, not too cold either. This cutoff low develops. See it there in the middle of the country? This moves into the southeast, and it gets really interesting, especially depending on what ensemble member you look at. Right there, going into the weekend, that's potentially pretty significant snow for the mountains in particular. Now, if you're east of the mountains and not in the mountains, you're probably saying, okay, is this going to be snow? I think it's a kind of an iffy setup. But for the mountains, because this is an upper level low, the cold air loft at 5,000 feet is going to be enough to bring snow down to those higher elevations. You could see as this thing kind of cranks up on the southeast coast, that's a nice little setup right there. Let's keep this trend going. I talked about this earlier. This, my friends, that is what we want to see. And what would this look like at the surface? Well, let me show you the future cast. And in complete transparency, I'll look at all the guidance. What I'm showing you is the deterministic European model here. So just so you know, there are ensemble members of both the GFS and the Euro, but the Euro is much more gung-ho. So just real quickly this weekend, you can see the northwest flow Friday morning. That's why I have snow in the forecast for many areas, West Virginia, up into Virginia and Maryland. We go into the weekend, Saturday morning, system comes in. Now, it shows mostly rain here, but I'm not going to be surprised if this starts as snow Saturday night, Sunday morning before it kind of transitions to a rain-snow mix, and then probably ends as a little bit of snow on Monday. Then we go through next week, again, kind of no man's land, just maybe a little system comes in the middle of the week. But this late week northwest flow set up Wednesday, Thursday. But what's really interesting, there's that upper low I just showed you. Here it comes. Watch this, guys. Friday night. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Low pressure near the coast, upper level low, throwing moisture back inland. Again, this would help out the surface, but a lot of this is being driven by dynamic cooling, bringing what I mean by that is the cold air is being brought down from higher altitudes down to the surface. And then look at that, Saturday, winding up. So that, my friends, right there, that is a great setup for some good synoptic snow. If that thing cranks up like that, that could be a nice little setup. And then look at that going into Sunday, pushing off. So how much snow would that amount to? Well, let's start with the weekend system first. We'll show you what this system is going to do. We'll go through time. I'll stop this. We'll go through Sunday morning. Let's stop this. Basically, Sunday afternoon. Back this up a little bit. I don't want to go that far into the future. We'll back this up to about right. This is through the weekend. So there we go. Back it up a little bit. We'll zoom in here so you can see, yeah, maybe a little snow for all the resorts in North Carolina. Heading up the road, Winter Place. I will be there starting tomorrow, this weekend. So looking forward to heading up the Winter Place with the family. Snowshoe, Wisp, Timberline, Canaan Valley. all the resorts, even the Shenandoah Valley, western part of Virginia. So a little bit of snow there, but again, that's not the big one. The big one's later in the week. So what would happen with that system? Watch this. Wow, wow, right, right. I mean, again, I hate to get too excited, but we haven't seen anything like this season. So it's still more than a week away, but that's you're talking 2 feet there for some of the resorts. And in the rare case where North Carolina could end up with more. So again, don't get. I mean, I don't. This isn't written in stone, but the pattern's there. I'm showing you deterministic model here. So as you know, with these in the long range, they're not accurate. But I look for the general. That's a lot of snow over a big area. So even if the storm shifts this way, shifts this way, shifts this way, that's only going to shift the snow a little bit. So I am much more confident we're going to see snow. So folks that live over here, don't blah, that's not happening. But for the mountains, that's a pretty good signal right there. And again, not so much the snow map, but this map here should be the one, that I got my eyes on, because somewhere in there, if we get a low pressure here, 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 and that's what I look at in the ensembles. We've got a lot of lows centering in here. That's a signal 7 to 8 days out that we're going to get some wintry weather. So keep your fingers crossed. This is the most promising setup we've seen for real natural snow. We've had the cold, we've had a little bit of northwest flow, but this is a legit snowstorm potential going into next weekend. So I'll keep an eye on it. If you're up at Winter Place this weekend and you see some tall bald guy with the orange jacket, that would be me skiing around with the family. Come say hi. I'll be up there, going to hang out for the weekend starting tomorrow through Sunday. And enjoy Winter Place up in West Virginia. Hope to hit some more of the resorts here in the next couple of weeks as we get into the heart of the ski season in the Southeast. As always, think snow. Keep your fingers crossed. Next weekend will be the one we've been waiting for.